The Constitutional Court has said that IEC has contravened the Constitution as far as the discrepancies in its voter rolls is concerned, but has given a green light for the local municipal polls to go ahead. Chief Justice Mogoeng has given the Independent Electoral Commission 18 months to rectify its voters' roll. Justice Mogoeng said that the IEC's failure to capture all addresses in the Tlokwe by-election in 2013 was unlawful. The voters' roll needs to be brought up to date by the next elections in 2019. Meanwhile, the August 3rd local government elections would go ahead as planned. In its application, the IEC had asked the Concourt to set aside an electoral court ruling which it said could see millions of people disqualified from voting. The electoral court had ruled that the 2013 Tlokwe by-elections were not free and fair. As such, it ordered that all new voters who registered had to have address details or sufficient details of where they lived to place them in a voting district.
The compilation of the current voters' roll is unlawful by reason of its disregard for the provisions of Section 16(3) and the strictures of the rule of law. This renders it inconsistent with the rule of law, which is one of the cornerstones of our constitutional democracy. It is for this reason that we declare that unlawful conduct constitutionally invalid. The declaration of the IEC's compilation of the National Common Voters' Roll as unlawful, inconsistent with the Constitution and therefore invalid, will be suspended for 18 months from the date of this judgment.
The judgment that has been made now gives us what we were looking for, is the clarity and certainty as to what is the way forward regarding the conundrum of the addresses. And we are very much grateful to the court, to the Concourt, for having dealt with this matter also expeditiously, because we needed to find the solution and clarity with respect to the upcoming elections.
It was not an easy judgment, but I think it was extremely pragmatic. Because from the onset, we have said as the ministry, we were concerned about disenfranchising or maybe depriving, many of our voters an opportunity to cast their vote. But you can see this was not an easy judgment, a new thing to happen in our constitutional democracy. I think really there's no one victor here. This is democracy at work. And I think our constitutional democracy is the victor here.
Pleased with the ruling that has been made by Judge Mogoeng today around the IEC, and particularly one of the things we're happy with is the fact that the addresses were not done properly, looking at the Tlokwe ruling and how that will cascade further to all the elections and by-elections going forward. But what we also really welcome is the fact that by 2018, June 2018, they need to make sure that they update all the addresses so that we can have a free and fair election. But one of the things that is also critical is that parties also should continue to do oversight of the IEC and not just let IEC on their own to do